Hi you guys, it's Katie with Dashing Dish. It's back to school season, which means a busy time of year. So I'm going to show you how to make quick and easy lunches in 10 minutes for the entire week. I'm going to make turkey burritos, and these can last you for about a week in the fridge or even for a few months in the freezer. So it just takes about 10 minutes to prep everything. All you need is a skillet, and that's it as far as kitchen utensils and tools. And so what I did is I took my ground turkey and I cooked it up in a skillet here. And this took me about 5 minutes. I just did it over medium-high heat, ground turkey, but you could also use lean ground beef or ground chicken even. So any kind of meat you like. And I just sprayed the skillet, turned it on medium-high heat, cut up and kind of, worked the meat while it was cooking to kind of grind it up in the pan. Then once it was almost cooked through, I added just a pinch of salt, garlic powder, cumin, and chili powder. So maybe about 1/4 teaspoon to a 1/2 teaspoon of each of those, depending on taste. You could also just add a tablespoon or two of taco seasoning or fajita seasoning would be great. Then I did some taco sauce, and so I just have a little bit left in the jar here to show you guys. It's just a red sauce, but you could also use some salsa. So I did about a 1/2 cup of this taco sauce into the meat, but you can also use, again, a 1/2 cup of salsa. And what you want to do is add that in the last part of cooking to add a little bit of moisture back to the meat, since lean ground turkey can be a little bit drier. But you don't want it too wet, because if, again, you wrap these up and you have them throughout the week, you don't want them getting just the tortillas kind of soggy. So add that in the last few minutes of cooking the meat so that most of the moisture is cooked off. Then you'll want to pick some tortillas that are anything other than white tortillas. So I don't care if it's whole wheat or whole grain. The best option, in my opinion, are anything that you can find at Whole Foods that's made with cassava flour, almond flour, coconut flour, or even Ezekiel tortillas. I get these at my regular grocery store in the freezer section, and they're absolutely wonderful. I microwave them for a few minutes to get them, or for about a minute, to get them pliable, and then I can roll up my burritos really well. Also, if you're looking for another higher fiber or lower carb option, these Joseph wraps are great as well. So the next thing you want to do is kind of lay out, and you can do this while your meat is cooking, your tortillas on some foil strips. And I buy these at Costco because they're already cut for me and they last forever. It's a really good deal on foil. So I just take my foil, line it up on a counter, so I could maybe do 4 or 6, as many as it will make you. Then I want to take my meat, but before I do that, I'm going to add some refried beans. Now in this case, all I had on hand was just some white beans, so I mashed them up. So any kind of mashed bean that you like, and add that right to the tortilla. You could even make these vegetarian by just doing the beans. You don't even need to add the meat necessarily. So I'm adding the beans to the tortilla, and that adds kind of a nice base to the meat. And I just took a little spatula to spread that on there. Then I'm gonna add some of my meat to the tortillas on top of the beans. And you could certainly do the beans right directly into the meat, but I find that it's nice to have kind of that those textures and flavors kind of contrasting there. So I added the beans and the meat. I'm going to move my skillet so you can see. Right onto the tortillas there. And then I'm going to take some cheese, and you don't have to do cheese at all if you're dairy free, but just for a little bit of flavor, you can use any kind of cheese you like. And then if you want to make them like traditional burritos, for me this is plenty of carbohydrates, a good source of carbs. But if you want to add a little bit of flavor or variation in texture, make them more like a regular traditional burrito, you can add either some brown rice. And this is a great brand, the steam kind, Bird's Eye, or any kind of organic rice if you like, because you can just microwave it right in the bag, or you could steam it yourself. And so you can add those brown rice directly onto the burrito, or you could even do some riced cauliflower. And this is just frozen as well. And you just microwave it for about a minute, actually about 5 minutes, and then you just add it right to your burritos. Then after adding the rice, if you would like to do that, you just roll them up, and then roll the foil over them and tuck in the sides. The cauliflower rice or the rice will also give them a little more volume, so it's a little more hearty of a burrito. And then you just roll them up. And then what you would do is you can put these all in a Ziploc bag. Again, in the fridge, they'll last you about a week. In the freezer, a few months. I'd say about 3 months. They'll taste fresh. And you can even label them in just a Ziploc bag. Then when you take them out of the Ziploc bag, you can either put them in the fridge to thaw out, microwave them, wrap them in a paper towel, of course, remove the foil first, or even put them in the oven to kind of broil them and get them nice and crisp on the burrito or the toaster oven. And then you can dip them in your favorite taco sauce or salsa. So you can see how easy that was, and I have a whole week of lunches ready to go if I were to make all 6 or 8. So I hope this helped, and I hope you have a great back to school season.